products getting banned after people died. All right, let's see what it is. All right, these are the products right here. I'm supposing. All right, let's start the video and find out what the products are gonna be.
Infant sleep positioners. They
Infant
were
sleep
sold to prevent
positioners.
babies from dying in their sleep. Instead, they killed them.
What? Nah, bro. Hey, I don't mean to pause it so early on, but if you sell me a product that kills my goddamn infant, bro, I'm coming for that ass. No amount of money, no lawsuit's gonna bring that baby back. All right, so this is just wild. Okay, let's hear.
Sleep positioners, designed to hold a baby on its back, were marketed as the solution to every new parent's worst fear.
Okay.
Sudden infant death syndrome. The packaging showed peaceful, sleeping newborns.
Okay.
The labels promised safety.
That just looks
Millions
crazy.
of parents bought them believing they were protecting their children, but they weren't. The design was simple: a flat mat with 2 foam rolls on either side or a wedge to elevate the baby's head. The idea was to keep infants...
It's like, bro, like, why do you gotta buy stuff to make your baby sleep gooder? You know, like, just put them down with a blanket and a pillow, then you go buy a contraption like this. I don't know how true this is, but a baby dying with this contraption is not okay.
locked in position while they slept. But babies move. They roll. And when a newborn rolled face first into one of those soft bolsters or slipped between the positioner and the crib wall, there was no way to breathe.
None?
Between 1997 and 2011, at least 12 infants suffocated this way. Most were 4 months old or even younger. Dozens more were found wedged, twisted, face down, and survived only because someone walked in at the right moment. But here's what makes it worse.
It damn near suffocates the infant. This product was suffocating babies, okay? And it's just sad because, like, it's common knowledge to know if you're going to put your baby in something, they turn around, they're going to be face down in it and can't breathe. You get what I'm saying? So I don't understand why people would even thought it was okay in the first place to even make a contraption like this. It's just stupid.
The FDA never approved these products for SIDS prevention.
Then why'd
Not
they get
once.
sold?
No scientific evidence proved they worked. The claims on the box were marketing, not medicine.
Yeah.
In 2010, the FDA and CPSC issued a joint warning. Stop using sleep positioners immediately. Retailers in the US and UK pulled them from shelves.
Just let your baby sleep organically and naturally, okay? You don't need a contraption for the baby to sleep, okay?
And in 2022, the Safe Sleep for Babies Act banned inclined sleepers and tightened regulations on products designed to hold infants in place during sleep. The safest surface for a baby was always the simplest one.
Flat.
A flat crib, a firm mattress,
Thank you.
Nothing else. The products parents trusted most were the ones they never needed, and the ones that proved the most dangerous.
I know.
Lawn darts. They were 12 inches long, weighted with metal, and sharp enough to pierce a human skull. And for decades, they were sold as a backyard game. You tossed them underhand toward a plastic ring on the ground. The heavy tip would arc through the air and stick into the grass. Families played them at barbecues. Kids found them in garages. Nobody thought twice. Between 1978 and 1986...
Okay, this just seems dangerous off the rip. For kids to be running around and playing with goddamn darts that were pointing at the tip of it. Right?
Over 6,000 people ended up in emergency rooms because of lawn darts.
6,000?
81% were children under 15. More than half were hit in the head, face, or eyes. A single dart carried enough
What the fuck? What?
force on impact to punch through a child's skull. On April 5th, 1987, 7-year-old...
Why are you designing something like this and allowing children to play with it? This is, oh my God. It seems like as the world advances, right, and people are getting smarter, it's just like, it's very common in your knowledge to know not to give this type of stuff to your children, okay?
Michelle Snow was playing with dolls in her front yard in Riverside, California. In the backyard, her brother's friends had found an unopened set in the garage. One kid threw too far. The dart sailed over the fence, came down on Michelle, and penetrated her skull. She died 3 days later. Her father...
Bro, is this real?
David began a one-man crusade. He called the Consumer Product Safety Commission, wrote letters, flew to Washington, met with every commissioner personally. When investigators finally separated lawn dart injuries from general dart statistics, the numbers were staggering. Thousands of children hurt, most under 10. The day of the vote, the commission voted 2-1. Lawn darts were banned on December 19th, 1988. And almost a decade later, in 1997, A 7-year-old boy in
Bro.
Indiana had a dart pierce his skull from a set that should have been thrown away years ago. Konjac Mini Jelly Cup.
That's just sad because it's just like, I don't know. I'll say it again and again. You should know better than to have stuff like that around your house, especially if you have kids. I'm not going to have no goddamn darts or no pointy objects, no sharp objects, no weapons around to where the kids could get, right? Like, you got to hide that stuff from them. And to make a product like this and then go and sell it for they can play with it? Nah, bro, that's
They
out.
looked like candy. They were shaped like candy.
Okay.
They were sold next to candy.
Yeah.
But they didn't behave like candy, and children died because of it. Mini jelly
What?
cups were small, brightly colored fruit-flavored treats. Tiny plastic cups you'd peel open and suck out in just one bite. Cheap, sweet, and marketed straight at kids.
Yo. What?
The problem was the
Marketed
ingredient inside.
straight at kids?
The konjac, a binding additive from the root of the konjac plant. Konjac gave the jelly its firm, rubbery texture. But unlike regular gelatin, konjac doesn't dissolve. Not in your mouth, not in your throat. And when a child sucked the whole jelly out, the way every child did, it could lodge in the airway like a plug. Airtight, immovable. Deaths were reported in Japan, South Korea, Australia, the United States, and Europe. Most victims were children or elderly people. In 1999, 12-year-old Michelle Enriel choked to death on a single konjac jelly cup in the United States. The pattern was always the same.
Imagine being able to build.
Oh my lord, and I swear I don't get ads, man. What's going on?
Infant sleep positioner.
Bro. Oh my god.
Most victims were children or elderly people. In 1999, 12-year-old Michelle Enriel choked to death on a single konjac jelly cup in the United States. The pattern was always the same. A small throat, a firm piece of jelly, and a few minutes of silence before someone noticed. In 2002, the European Union suspended mini jelly cups containing konjac. The following year, Parliament voted.
That's what you get for increasing the ads. Villain, what do you mean I did not increase the ads, all right? Oh my god. I didn't increase them. They're still the same, and I don't get ads on YouTube. I have YouTube Premium because I paid $30 a month to have no ads on YouTube.
516-6 to make the ban permanent. Australia followed in 2004. The FDA issued import alerts in the United States. Hong Kong announced a ban that will take effect in 2026 after a schoolgirl choked to death on one in late 2024.
Whoa.
Konjac itself is used safely in hundreds of food products. The danger was the delivery. A tiny cup designed to be swallowed whole, filled with something the human throat couldn't break down. A candy that wasn't built for the way everyone ate it.
Oh my god, bro. Like, it just looks sus, right? It looks super sus, and they designed it for you to swallow it in one bite. They want you to swallow this in one whole bite. That's like something my man's Villain would do. If you guys don't know who Villain is, he's one of my buddies from out there in Bulgaria. He makes content where he eats items in one bite, like bananas, jalapenos, cucumbers. He eats them in one bite. It's honestly pretty entertaining and interesting to see. You guys should go check him out. All right, let's continue.
Rock and Play Sleeper. Fisher-Price, the American company that produced it, called it the first sleeper that let babies sleep safely at an angle. Parents called it a miracle. It became the best-selling sleeper on Amazon with over 4.7 million units sold, more than $200 million in revenue. There
And then they're just chilling, just making bread off of it.
was just one problem. It was killing babies. The Rock and Play held infants at a 30-degree angle, 3 times what safety experts...
Pause. I look at something like this, bro, and it looks like a death trap, all right? It looks like a death trap, and it's something that I would probably not ever would want to put my kids in. Plain and simple. Like, look at this freaking mechanism. Like, why would you want to put your baby in something like this? And people will see it and think it's okay because stores are selling it when obviously they're talking about it here. It's not okay.
Consider safe. At that incline, a baby's chin could drop to its chest and block the airway, or the baby could roll face first into the padded side and suffocate. The product was developed with one family doctor's input, no clinical trials. Fisher-Price's own internal safety commission flagged concerns 3 times before launch, but they ignored everyone. It hit shelves in 2009, and by 2011, babies were dying. Sarah Thompson found her 15-week-old son face down in the fabric, not breathing. Kirsten Connolly lost her 6-week-old.
That is just so sad, right?
One of twins. She later had to order a coffin small enough to carry in one hand. Fisher-Price didn't recall it. They just added a warning label, and
No
babies
way.
kept dying. By 2019, over 30 deaths were reported. The American Academy of Pediatrics demanded an immediate recall. Fisher-Price complied, but offered most parents only a partial voucher. Fewer than 10% of units were returned. Then 70 more babies died. Parents were still buying them on Facebook Marketplace, unaware they were illegal.
Why?
In May 2022, President Biden signed the Safe Sleep for Babies Act, banning
President Biden, bro. I never voted for a president in my life, but I know a lot of people didn't like Biden. Wasn't he like, they called him like Sleepy Joe? He'd be falling asleep and stuff during his
all inclined
Congress
sleepers by
things,
law.
whatever going
Total
on.
death toll was approximately 100 infants. Fisher-Price knew before they launched. For 13 years, they chose profit over the simplest advice in pediatrics. Babies should
Wow.
sleep flat.
Yep.
Dropside cribs.
Facts.
They were in millions of nurseries. Hospitals use them. Daycares use them. Even your parents probably used one. And
On
for
you,
decades, nobody questioned whether the most common crib design in America was killing babies. Dropside cribs had one side that slid up and down, a simple feature that let parents lift their child in and out without reaching over the rail. It seemed like a convenience. Instead, it was a death trap. The
How?
problem was the hardware.
I'm all
Over
looking
time,
at
or
our baby crib back there, but how? I'm curious now. I want to know.
sometimes straight out of the box, the sliding mechanism could break, warp, or detach from one corner.
Oh,
When it
wow.
did, a gap opened between the mattress and the rail. Not a big gap, just enough for a baby to roll into.
Okay.
And once an infant was wedged in that space,
Oh.
pressed between fabric and wood, there was no way to breathe. Some babies strangled in the V shape formed when the top corner detached. Others suffocated face down in the gap at the bottom.
That makes
Some died in
sense.
cribs their parents had tried to repair with tape and zip ties. Fixes that held for a while, then failed.
Oh my God. Like, how are you trusting your baby's lives in a contraption where you're putting zip ties in there, right? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? What?
In the middle of the night. Between 2000 and 2010,
Uh-huh.
the CPSC documented at least 32 infant deaths from dropside cribs.
Wow.
Another 14 were suspected but couldn't be confirmed. Hundreds more
Not
injuries
cool.
were reported. Over 7 million cribs were recalled across 11 separate recalls in just 5 years. But recalls weren't enough. Parents kept assembling them with missing screws. Daycares kept using old models. Secondhand shops kept selling them for $10 at yard sales. In June 2011, the CPSC voted unanimously to ban dropside cribs entirely, not just from stores, from everywhere. Manufacture, sale,
Okay.
resale, donation, and use in any commercial setting became illegal overnight. Hotels, hospitals, and daycare centers were given until the end of 2012 to replace every unit. It was the most sweeping crib regulation in American history, and it came 32 funerals too late. Crib bumpers. Every parent bought them. They were in every nursery.
That just looks dangerous. Look at this, and I know this is just an animated like version of what it was, but still, like this don't look
catalog,
okay.
Every baby registry and every store display. Soft padded liners that wrapped around the inside of a crib to keep the
Yeah.
baby safe from
Okay.
bumping against the slats. They came in pastel colors. They matched the bedding.
You're housing an illegal crib? No, I'm not. The crib we have is not like this one. All
It
right.
looked like they belonged there, but they didn't. Crib bumpers were
And on top of that, look, listen, the crib that we have here, we don't put the baby in there to sleep, okay? We use it for clothes, and I can show you right now. It's right behind me, all right, bud? Never that.
originally designed decades ago
But the crib
when
here
crib
we have
slats
is
were
good.
far enough apart for a baby's head to slip through.
That's
but
bad.
federal regulations fixed that problem in 1973,
Yeah.
requiring slats narrow enough to prevent entrapment. After
Mm-hmm.
that, bumpers served no purpose, but they stayed on the market anyway because they sold. The danger was invisible. A newborn could press its face against the padding and suffocate. An older infant could wedge itself between the bumper and the mattress and stop breathing. Ties could come loose and wrap around a tiny neck. The very thing placed inside a crib to prevent harm was actually causing it. Between 1985 and 2012, at least 48 infant deaths
Wow.
were directly attributed to crib bumpers.
48?
And researchers believe the real number is far higher because bumper involvement was rarely noted on death certificates. A 2015 study found that deaths had tripled in the most recent 7-year period.
Bro, it's just so scandalous how all these deaths were happening. And it took so long for them to do something about it. It's like the first case that you see something wrong going on, go and fix it, right?
Compared
Fix
to
it.
earlier decades. Maryland banned them in 2013. Chicago
Should've been
followed,
banned, man.
but the federal government took nearly a decade longer. And with the Safe Sleep for Babies Act, signed by Biden in May 2022, he declared all crib bumpers, padded, vinyl, or vertical slat covers, banned hazardous products.
That's good.
It applies
get 'em
to
banned.
every bumper ever made, regardless of date of manufacture. It is now illegal to sell, donate, or distribute them in the United States. The safest crib was always the emptiest one, but it took 80 deaths and 40 years for the law to
That's
agree.
what I'm saying, bro. Like the 80 deaths, and in my opinion, right, there should not be any deaths. Like, test your product out before you go and sell them, and put infants inside of them, innocent babies that don't know no better.
Every product in this video was marketed as safe, and every product killed someone before
Nah,
anyone decided
bro.
to act. The shelves are safer now,
Nah,
but only
bro.
because someone didn't make it home.
Nah. See, that damn near just made me mad right there, bro. It's because, man, bro, like, these are babies' lives, and we got to value them. And I know all of this is over with now, but still, just seeing that pisses me off, all right? But that wraps the video up. Rest in peace to the ones that did pass away from this. You know, it's sad, man. So, yeah, that wraps the video up, you guys. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, okay? And the original video will be tagged down below in the description. Shout out to Dave Explains. Let's get it.